You ever notice that the hardest job in America right now isn't being a politician? It's being a comedian? Applause. Seriously. Imagine spending 3 weeks writing the perfect joke. You test it. You rewrite it. You change one word because timing matters. You finally think, yeah, this one's gonna kill. Then you wake up the next morning, grab your phone, and the first headline says something so insane your entire set is officially worthless that you're sitting there like, well, never mind. Laughter, reality already did it. I don't know who got hired to write this timeline, but they deserve an Emmy. Laughter, because every single day the news comes out with another episode that it's not even called breaking news anymore. It's season 7. And somehow every season gets crazier. Remember when the news used to be boring? Stocks, weather, traffic. Now every notification feels like your phone is about to tell you aliens opened a coffee shop in Ohio. Laughter. And the scary part? Half of us wouldn't even be surprised anymore, but we'd just ask, is the coffee any good? That's where we're living now. The news has completely destroyed our sense of surprise. 20 years ago, somebody would say, I can't believe this happened. Today, people say, yeah, that sounds about right. That's terrifying. Nothing shocks anybody anymore. A politician says something unbelievable. Nobody blinks. A billionaire makes another crazy announcement. People just refresh Twitter. Laughter. The internet has trained us to accept absolute nonsense before breakfast. Think about how insane that is. Our grandparents survived wars. We survive notifications. Applause. Every morning feels like emotional speed dating. You wake up happy. Then your phone says, good morning. Here's 5 global crises, 3 celebrity scandals, 2 billionaires arguing online, and 1 mysterious object flying over somewhere. Laughter. Have a nice day. Who programmed this? I swear the news doesn't report reality anymore. It auditions it. The funniest people in America aren't even comedians anymore. They're news anchors. Laughter. Not because they're trying to be funny, because they're forced to read the most ridiculous sentences with a completely straight face. That's talent. Imagine looking directly into a camera and saying, tonight's top story. Knowing what's written on the teleprompter, I'd start laughing immediately. Laughter. You know what's really funny? Nobody trusts the news, but everybody reads it. That's like saying, I hate my ex, then checking their Instagram 6 times a day. Laughter. We complain about the media while giving them exactly what they want. Attention. News companies figured out something comedians have known forever. People don't share normal. The only headlines that spread are the ones that make people say, no way. And then they click anyway. That's the business model. Fear, shock, confusion. Repeat. Comedy uses surprise to make people laugh. The news uses surprise to make people panic. Same technique. Different ending. Applause. And social media? Oh, social media deserves its own award. Sometimes I don't even know what happened. I know the memes. I know the reactions. I know who's angry. I know who's being canceled. Laughter. But ask me what actually happened. I don't know. But apparently everybody's upset. That's modern information. That we're living in the golden age of confidently being wrong. Politics might be the only profession where everybody thinks they're an expert without applying for the job. Laughter. Nobody watches one medical documentary and suddenly says, I think I can perform surgery. Nobody watches Formula One and says, I could probably drive for Ferrari next weekend. But politics. Oh, I watched 3 podcasts. Move over. I've got solutions. Laughter, Regis. Then why can't you organize your family group chat? That's why comedians have the easiest audience. People come expecting laughter. Political debates. People come expecting victory. Nobody leaves happy. One side says, we won. The other says, the system is broken. And the comedian? The comedian just says, thanks for the material. Applause. That's the real winner. Comedy used to exaggerate real life. Now comedy has to understate it just to sound believable. That's backwards. We reached a point where satire needs fact checkers. Laughter. Think about that. Satire needs fact checkers. Technology promised to connect humanity. Technically, it did. Now everybody has direct access to everybody else's bad opinions. Laughter. And honestly, maybe that's why people still come to comedy clubs. Not just to laugh. To hear somebody admit, this is insane, right? Applause. Because for 1 hour, a room full of strangers finally agrees on something. Not politics. Not money. Not religion. Just, yeah, this is ridiculous. Laughter. So tomorrow morning, when your phone lights up with another unbelievable headline, don't panic. Just take a deep breath, smile, and think, some comedian just lost 5 minutes of material. Applause. Good night, everybody.